What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope everyone is doing phenomenal tonight. Hope you guys have had a great Thursday. Hope you guys are ready for some Week 14 NFL action for Thursday night football. We've got about an hour until another contested, beautiful Thursday night matchup kicks off tonight. We've got the Rams and the Raiders. Got a question mark at quarterback for the Rams. We've got a Raiders team trying to keep the season alive. Derek Carr out there slinging it to Devontae Adams. We got Cam Akers in a good matchup. We got a lot to get into. You guys know what time it is, man. Time for some live Week 14 fantasy Q&A. So hit that like button on the way I am. Hit that subscribe button, of course, if you're new to the channel, and hop in the live chat. Let us know what you need, guys. Starts, sits, adds, drops. Roster confidence, roster non-confidence. Who are you starting tonight? Who are you sitting? And, of course, we got Steven in the house. What's up, man?
What's up, bro? Yo, we got Santa up in the building, too, man. We got Christmas coming along. Holiday season, bro. It's the best time of year, man. Time of cheer.
It's the best time of year.
You know what's not the time of cheer? It's this Thursday night showdown and having to watch the
game,
Rams
bro.
again.
What are you talking about?
Dude, I do not want to watch this Rams football team anymore at all, honestly. But I'll say this. I am excited to see one thing, and that's if Baker Mayfield plays, just because I think it's going to be more fun than seeing Wofford in the game. And, dude, honestly, too, like, it's kind of cool what the Raiders are doing. Like, they're kind of making a late season push. There is definitely a playoff picture if they can keep winning games. And it's just Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams, and Derek Carr, and that's it. It's just three dudes leading the team. I mean, this has got to be the thinnest team in all of the NFL. It's like Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, and then it's Adams, Carr, Jacobs. That's it.
And they got a shot with those guys.
Yeah, that's how good they are.
Yeah. Hey, let me grab my headphones. They're like right next to me. I got to scoot over. So,
scoop, baby, scoop.
Time out. Not going far.
Oh man, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing kind of. I think the fact that this Raiders team is so hot right now, I think they're going to carry forward the momentum. But it was interesting to see the Rams played well last week. Was that like an element of the fact that it was like a division rivalry game and they just wanted to get up for the fact that it was Seattle and that game means a lot? Or is this team still got a little fire in their hearts and they're still ready to roll? You know what I mean? That's kind of the big thing that I'm looking for on the Rams side. I'm not actually that interested in any of the fantasy options here. In fact, I wouldn't start anyone on the Rams at all.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I mean, like desperate. Cam Akers, decent matchup, 19 points last week, you know. But I agree. I don't want to start anyone from the Rams. I don't think anyone really wants to start any Rams players, but you might maybe be in a situation where you have to. Tyler Higbee's kind of interesting, but like Seattle's one of the worst teams. Like they've been battling Arizona all year long to be the worst team against tight ends, and he did nothing last week. So like I probably wouldn't start him personally, but yeah. And when you look at the Raiders, like it's so simple. It's like Adams, Jacobs, obviously, and then you could start Carr. Like I think he's got a pretty safe ceiling, or a pretty safe floor, I should say. And then like Mac Hollins, Foster Moreau, if you needed to in deeper PPR leagues. But
I like Hollins.
Yeah, Mac is fine. You know, that's my guy. Anytime I start him, he has like 3 points. Anytime I drop him, he has like 11 points. So it's cool. But it's pretty straightforward tonight, so that kind of helps us. I know you like the Raiders defense as a potential stream. How do you still feel about that?
I really do. I like it still. I think it's one of those options where you're gonna have a high ceiling potential, and I think they're gonna have a good game. The Raiders are not a good defense, but they have played pretty well over the last month, and obviously this is a pretty juicy matchup. So definitely willing to stream these guys this week. But when I look, and this also backs up the defense, but I also just wanted to talk about it because the implied over-under on this game is 41.5 points, which means there is going to be like no offense more than likely in this game. So it's even harder to call your shots on some of these like ancillary pieces, like, you know, a Matt Collins or a Foster Moreau, because it's just like they might not get the opportunity in a game that's probably going to see the Raiders score like 17 or 20 points, right? It looks pretty ugly.
See what happens, man. I think, like you said, the Rams might be able to create some of that magic we saw from last week and keep this thing competitive.
A little bit of the Christmas magic for Los Angeles.
You never know, man. You
Yeah.
never know. All right, so let's hop in the light chat. Let's see what everyone's up to tonight. Thank you guys for being here, man. I appreciate you guys coming out tonight. Week 14. Can you believe it, man? We're like,
it's flying by, dude. We got the fantasy playoffs coming right around the corner, dude.
Playoff time, man. Let's go. All right, little buddy hops in the house. What's up, bro? Christian Watson, that's the man. That's your guy.
Yes, he is.
Kel World, what's going on, man? Good to see you. What's up? What's up? Mrs. Sarcastic in the house. What's going on, man? Filoni, what's up? Carr or Huntley?
That's a good question.
I'd probably go Carr personally. I think Huntley's an okay potential streaming option because overall Pittsburgh has played really poorly against the quarterback position from a fantasy perspective on the season. But Carr's looked good the last couple.
Yes, he is. He's getting hot too. I will say this though, John. Huntley rest of the season, I think he's going to be a pretty good streaming option. I know I think he has Atlanta in the championship week. And so if you're a team like that loaded up but just didn't have the quarterback spot, Huntley could be an interesting play later on. Because obviously that scrambling upside is great. I mean, he had like 17 fantasy points against the Broncos, which is not an easy matchup. And he didn't even play the whole game, and he was thrown into it. I mean, he can do something with nothing, and that's kind of one of those things.
It's week 16. He gets Atlanta, but still a good call. And it's like it's just unclear how long Jackson's going to be out.
I think he's going to be out the whole regular season, if not basically till the end.
Yeah, and a Carr since week 9 has had 17 or more fantasy points in all his matchups. So when you look at the quarterback position, which has been really washy overall this year, I think it's a good start. I think you go with Carr tonight, but keep an eye on Huntley for sure. We kind of just need to get a larger sample size before I'm comfortable with him. So
yeah.
All right, what's up? High upside, low risk. I need your help. Choose one flex, non-PPR, Pierce, Knight, Cook, or Pickens. Would have easily gone with Pierce, but that Dallas defense worries me. Much appreciated.
Yeah, hate Pierce this week.
Tough call. Yeah, I don't like Pierce. Been recommending sending him throughout the week. Knight is a really tough call because Carter's probably going to be active, and you got Ty Johnson, maybe James Robinson. I kind of like James Cook here.
I like him a lot this week too. I think he's going to get the work. I think they're going to start leaning on him more and more as they come towards the playoffs. He's obviously got the juice in him, man. I mean, Singletary hasn't been bad either, which is just kind of funny. Like it's kind of been the story of his career in Buffalo is that I feel like when I watch this guy play, he looks good, and they just don't give him like a full workload ever. He's just one of those players. Like I just can't wait till he's in a different team. But yeah, I would go James Cook here. I think he's just kind of the best option all around. Donovan Knight, dude, I liked him, bro. Bam Knight looked good, dude. I'm kind of disappointed that Carter's going to be back in the mix because personally, don't you think you look at Michael Carter's numbers just to cross check me here, but I feel like Bam Knight's a better player than Michael Carter, at least for fantasy.
Well, yeah, I mean, the PPR upside is definitely higher. So, like, the issue with starting Donovan Knight, who I don't think is a bad start necessarily, is just, once again, like, this is going to be a committee, and Knight's going to be involved, but we just don't know, like, the limitations with Michael Carter in the mix now and what it's going to look like. But he's definitely a player you hold on to because he will be involved. And then past this week against Buffalo, which is not the best matchup, but a good game script. But after that, Detroit, Jacksonville, and Seattle, like it's a beautiful
juicy. Wish Michael Carter was out for the season.
Yeah, you kind of do wish, like,
yeah.
And like James Robinson, a healthy scratch last week. Like we don't know how he impacts things. Ty Johnson has looked good too. Like he's gotten double digits the last 2 weeks. So it's just a tough read. But I think overall we go James Cook here. I think Knight is just a little too risky. And I want to like Pickens, but he was like one of my must starts last week, and he did nothing. I think, he wants to get the ball, obviously. But,
those are good outside corners in Baltimore. Yeah. They get sliced and diced in the middle of the field, but man, those outside corners are solid.
For sure. What's up, Jane? Hello. Tommy, what's going on? Need 2 running backs and a flex, full PPR. Pacheco, Wilson, Fournette, Pirine, Bam Knight, DJ Moore, Devonta Smith. Lots of good options here for you, Tommy. I like Jeff Wilson this week. I think he's going to bounce back against the Chargers. I think last week, like the way I've been looking at this all week, was just the game script got out of hand. Miami playing from behind against a really good Niners defense, abandon the run. So I think Jeff Wilson bounces back. The second running back's a really interesting option because Pacheco, a tough matchup against the Broncos. Lenny Fournette has a bad matchup, but like we saw last week, it was a bad matchup, and the Bucks just dump it off. Like no matter which running backs out there, like they're going to get like 6 targets a game. So and then we just talked about Bam Knight, and then Pure Ryan's interesting because he gets the Browns. It's awful run defense, but Mixon's going to be back. So, and I think Pure Ryan will still be involved, similar to Bam Knight. So the RB2 here is kind of tough for me. I go Jeff Wilson, I go Devonta Smith in the flex personally, but the RB2, like there's a lot of discussion to be had there. So it's a tough call.
I mean, like when I first saw Leonard Fournette, I was so out on this dude. Like I honestly feel like that 49ers defense is just, you can't start people against him. I was pretty out on Jeff Wilson last week too. And I mean, Moser for that example too. But I think Wilson this week is going to be a stud. But Fournette, he does still scare me. But just like you said, man, he's got that target upside where it's a little bit safer. So honestly, I think I probably would go with Fournette and then Wilson here.
I think that's completely fine. I agree. Like, and the advantage you have to a lot of these Buccaneers players is like they're going to be in a scenario where they have to throw the football. So I probably do go Jeff Wilson, Fournette, and Smith. You could maybe go Pure Ryan over Fournette. I think is the next best move, just because that Browns run defense is so bad.
How's Pacheco been?
Pacheco's been good, but I just don't like the matchup against Denver. Like Pacheco's been good.
Yeah, well, let me ask you this, John. I mean, like, I think both those matchups are horrible, but on one side, you got the Kansas City Chiefs offense, much higher implied total for the team, or you've got Leonard Fournette with a crappy offense. Like, does that sway you at all to say maybe Pacheco's a better upside?
Pacheco's fine. It's just really like you can go back and forth between, I think, Fournette, Pacheco, Pure Ryan, and even Knight. Like, it's really tough here, really close calls. So we could spend a lot of time on this one, Tommy. So let us know what you think, man. And we can kind of crack back into it. But I definitely have Devonta Smith in the flex, especially in full PPR.
Oh, yeah.
I think you definitely start Jeff Wilson for sure. Albert, what's going on, man? Good to see you, bro. Sutton or Nico Collins the rest of the season? I'd probably go Nico Collins, man.
Me too. What's the point for Sutton to coming back at this point, man?
Who knows?
Like, there's nothing, dude. And the hamstring injury, I'm just so scared of hammies.
Bad matchup this weekend for Collins against the Cowboys. But after that, he gets Kansas City, Tennessee, and Jacksonville. Davis Mills is going to be starting at quarterback moving forward again. Like the floor is very safe. Not a lot of upside with Nico Collins, but those 3 matchups through the playoffs are very beneficial. So I got Collins for sure. Appreciate you, Bunny Hop. Good to see you, V. Good to have you, man. Filoni, I have to start Hollins at my wide receiver due to injury. So you think Carr would be the move over Huntley for some stackage? I'm good with that. Yeah. And overall, I go with Carr for sure. Tyler in the house. What's good, bro?
What's up, T-Bone?
T-Bone Steak.
I'm rooting for you this week, T-Bone. You need to change out Damian Pierce. You need to change out Hunt. You need to get Dak Prescott. I'm scared of Dak Prescott this week, man. Gosh, your team is in shambles this week. You're looking like my team.
You're rooting? That's rude.
Oh yeah, I'm rooting for him, dude. I need you to lose, that's true. Bro. I'm conjuring up some bad Muju or Vuju for your team, dude.
Juju. Bad Juju.
I like Muju. That's one word.
Tyler probably will beat me. Akers or Pierce? I go Akers. I don't like it, but I go Akers, man.
Yeah, I go Akers too.
I mean, like, Pierce could end up having a decent game, but, like, he's just got to find, like, a garbage time touchdown or have a big breakaway run. And I just worry about him against the Cowboys, man. I really do. Zeke or ETN? I go Zeke for sure, not even close.
Yeah. No close. Yeah, and especially because, the Jags playing Tennessee, right? That's going to be a tough matchup.
Very tough matchup for ETN also. Zeke gets Houston. And, dude, like, you look at Zeke this year, right? Since week 6, he's had 15 or more fantasy points in every game he's played in. He missed weeks 8 and week 10 was on bye week, and week 9. Every game he's had 15 or more fantasy points. He's had a touchdown, at least one touchdown in 2 matchups, 2 touchdowns in every game he's played, and now he gets the Texans. Like, He's a beautiful start, man.
I would love like an alt prop line of 2 touchdowns for Zeke Elliott in this game against Houston. I just feel like that could be a really fun one. I think those running backs are going to go insane in that game.
It's risky, but you could run it on FanDuel for sure. One last one, Njoku or Foster. I probably go Njoku here as long as he's healthy. If you're worried about his health, you could go Foster. I think Foster Moreau is going to have a decent game, but Njoku practice limited today and yesterday, so there's still some risk. He's still questionable, but it looks like he's trending in the right direction. So it's kind of it's a tough call because if Njoku doesn't play, then you're screwed. But it looks like he's trending to play, so I probably take the risk and go Njoku. But I think Foster Moreau's decent this week. Titan CW, pick one for running back: Cam Akers, James Cook, Zonovan Knight, and Tony Adams Jr. I think we both like James Cook here.
Yeah. I do think there is a chance that Cam Akers walks out of here the best back, but I'll go James Cook.
It's definitely between those two.
Yeah,
for sure. Jason, drop Rashad White for James Cook.
No.
No. I still go Rashad White. A lot of good PPR upside and everything there. So yeah, I'm good with them. We got you, bro. We got you. Baltimore Raiders defense.
I'm going Ravens here. I just think they're the better defense.
I agree. I definitely go with Baltimore here. Terrell, need one running back in a flex PPR. Homer, Pierce, Pacheco, Knight, Cook, Gallup, Slayton. So let's start with one running back. I go Pacheco out of this bunch.
It's just over Cooks or over James Cook.
I mean, it's close. Like Cook is fine, Pacheco is fine, but I pretty even par for me. Between the receiver, like in the flex, I'm probably going with the receiver here. I want to like Slayton this week because he's been really consistent, but he does play. Yeah, he plays Philly. Yeah, Gallup's been good too, but I worry about the Cowboys receiving options this week. I just don't know how much they're really going to need to do in this matchup.
Like none.
Yeah,
none.
Unless
it's gonna be tough for Dak and the whole receiver crew.
Yeah. So I don't know. I might actually just go Pacheco and Cook.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at too.
Yeah, but I think Slayton, if you want a little bit of upside, you can go Slayton, but it's just a little bit risky. What's going on, Andrea? Good to see you. Bryce, what's up, man? Trade deadline finally coming. Do I trade Kamara, Evans for Zeke and Andrews or no? I probably won't even start Evans playoff time, and I have Connor in Kamara's position. I mean I think that's fine, but it's close because Kamara's playoff schedule is like really favorable. And I do think he's going to bounce back throughout the fantasy playoffs. So it just depends. Like if you want the kind of the upgraded tight end, I think it's okay because I still think Zeke holds a lot of value in a lot of these games where the Cowboys are going to be closing things out. Just kind of depends if you want the tight end value. But I will say Kamara's playoff schedule, even though he's been in a rut and everything, it's like I think he's really going to bounce back because he gets Atlanta and Cleveland weeks 15 and 16, then even Philly in week 17. Not a great matchup there, but not the worst. They've been kind of struggling lately. So, although they're good last week, but you know what I'm saying.
I feel like I would take the Zeke and Andrews side just to get like one player that actually gives you a competitive advantage because, like, honestly, I have no interest in Kamara or Evans. I think they're both kind of just bombs. I mean, Kamara's had a lot of good matchups this season, and he's just not the same guy. I mean, there's something off about him and this team. And Zeke is hot, man. I'd rather ride the hot hand. I mean, I know there's going to be games where Kamara looked really good throughout the season, but Zeke's doing that right now, right? And I don't see any reason for that to change throughout the rest of the year. He's just going to get so many goal line opportunities. And then you get Mark Andrews, who's a guy who's going to be like kind of like a locked-in top 3 tight end, even though he's had some bad performances as of late. Like, there's a lot of uncertainty with the quarterback change, but Huntley, when he played last year, liked Andrews too. So I don't know. I'll take that side.
That's fair. Yeah, I think there's the only argument for the Kamara side is just that playoff schedule.
Oh yeah, it's a great playoff schedule.
Overall, I do think the Zeke Andrews side is better. So just understand if you trade Kamara, like you might see him have some good stat lines. Is what I'm saying. God, what's good, bro? Good to see you. I have Lamar Fields and Brady with Lamar hurt. Do I play Brady or pick up Tua or Lawrence? I probably pick up Tua. Yeah.
Two against the Chargers or Lawrence against the Titans. Yeah, I'll probably get to it as well.
Lawrence has a really good opportunity. This Titans defense has been really bad against opposing quarterbacks in fantasy. They're the second worst team, actually. But it's just like something about that the pass rush for the Titans going up against the Jaguars kind of worries me.
Yeah. No, it definitely worries me too. And I think the Titans coming off of a bad loss. I'm scared of Mike Vrabel and for what he's going to do to this Jags team. I think they're going to throw out a couple wild cards and they're going to get the job done. I got a lot of faith in this Tennessee team. I'd rather play Tua.
Yeah, I also worry with Lawrence, like the foot injury last week. Like he's probably going to play, but I just worry about that pass rush, him getting hit wrong one time, and I feel like the Dolphins game is going to be a lot more competitive. So
Tua's got an injury too, right?
He does.
Yeah.
They're both trending to play, so I think they'll be okay. You know?
That man is always hurt, dude. Like he is literally always injured. What is up with that? He was injured in college too. Like this guy is like very injury prone.
Don't talk about Tua in that negative way, dude.
Dude, it's just like I look at him next year. Like, John, where do you put Tua next year? Like, is he somebody that you actively want to kind of roster next year? Because you look at it and it's like the guy's got a great situation, and I think it's only going to get better. But the injuries is kind of one thing that is a little spooky me a little bit with this guy.
He'll be fine, dude. He's a man of steel. Okay.
Man of steel. Okay.
Yeah, he's a beast. Final answer. Higbee or what was my nickname for him? Crap. I was Chig, right? Going by his first name. Because I can't say his name.
Okonkwo.
The tight end on the Titans.
Yeah,
Chig. Yeah. I worry about this Rams offense, man. I worry about Higbee. We just don't have a good enough sample size. I'd probably go with Chig, but just keep in mind, like, his sample size very, very small as well. 68 receiving yards last week, 10.8 fantasy points, and 6.5 in week 12. Outside of that, he scored a touchdown in week 4 against Stevens Colts, and other than that, 5.8 or less fantasy points in every game this year. So it's worrisome. Like the first time he saw more than a 46% snap share was last week against the Eagles. So it's just a tough read. Go ahead.
He's a big play kind of guy, though. He's definitely a field stretcher. He's fast. He's explosive. I think this Titans team is going to want to incorporate him. Honestly, I would take him over Higbee just because I think like you're probably not going to get a great like game out of either of them. But I think Okonkwo has a bigger upside, and that honestly, that's kind of what you wanted to hear.
I probably agree. I just worry about what you can potentially get out of Higbee, which I just don't feel like is a lot. So
yeah,
I agree. Tyler, I'm terrified of Zeke this weekend, man.
That's going to be Tyler's freaking meat and potatoes against you this week, dude. It's just going to be him.
I'm worried about it. It's not looking good. Yeah. I feel like Zeke could have like 30 points.
Who is Tyler starting against you in the receiver spot? Like freaking janitors? Like I mean, he's got kind of a bag and bones team going against you this week. Sorry, Tyler, to be shitting on your squad right now.
My team has been bag and bones all year, so it's gonna be a good matchup. It's gonna be a little matchup. But Tyler, if you want like $10 just to like set your starters, let me know. It's cool, bro. It's cool. Miles with the $5 super chat. Thank you, man. So much for the don't know. What's going on, man? Should I start Akers over Fournette or Ayuk in my flex? A must win for me to get into the playoffs. Ooh, pressure on, man. Very close call between Akers and Fournette. Akers looked pretty good last week. The question is, you have to ask yourself is like, do you think the Rams are going to be able to bring the same level of competitiveness that they did last week, right? Because if they can do that, then Akers should have a decent stat line, But if you feel like the Rams are going to flop tonight, and either scenario is very possible, then you probably go Fournette because he's at least like a safe floor. But I still feel like Akers holds a little bit more upside, but definitely holds more risk overall. But Ayuk's a good option even with the change at quarterback.
Dude, Brock Purdy's a beast, bro. Yeah, I put a lot of respect on my man's name. I think Ayuk over probably all these guys, but I don't know, man. Maybe it's just caught in the moment with this Thursday night game, but I like Akers more than Fournette this week.
That's fair. And Andrea bringing the point that Fournette is still questionable in practice today. So that's a good point as well if you're worried about the injury. But I kind of agree with Steven. I'd probably just go Ayuk, like safest option. But
yeah,
I do think, call me crazy, the most upside here is Akers, but he definitely holds the most risk being associated with the worst offense here as well. But you look at what he was able to do last week, you look at this Raiders defense, the upside's there, but the risk is really high too, Miles. You just got to kind of trust your gut here, especially with a must-win situation, getting in the playoffs. Like those are the kind of moves that you got to make, but it could bring you a lot of disappointment too. So
I think the way that I look at Akers, though, on the upside of this, just to be optimistic, is that the Rams have been struggling for a very, very long time now. I think they've lost like 5 or 6 games in a row. They just look terrible, right? So let's get to the optimistic side, Stephen. Right? The point is they played probably their best game in a long time against the Seahawks last week, and a big reason for that was Cam Akers actually had a pretty good game. He looked good. I thought he was probably the most efficient that I've seen, and he had a good fantasy game, right? So now you're going up against the Raiders. What they do really well is they pass rush at a high level with those 2 studs on the outside. The run game, I think, is going to be kind of the avenue. And also, Rams are having a lot of quarterback issues right now. So what do? Get the ball out of the quarterback's hand, run it, get it out, just.
Are we good?
Yeah, that was an intense cutoff.
I don't know what happened. I just looked up the screen and said I wasn't on anymore.
That was gangster, dude. That was like the best. I try to give optimism to the Ram situation, and it was like, no, you take it off the screen.
Well, okay, let's just move along then. I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, guys, but I think the big thing to remember about the Rams is Sean McVay is still a very good head coach.
Yeah, is he?
I think so. Yeah, I think he can.
I think it's more debatable than it used to be.
That's fair. I think he can still put together a good offensive game plan when he's being doubted. So, all right, let's keep rolling here. Tommy, my other team, I need a flex full PPR: Adam Thielen, DPJ, Rachaad White, Eagles or Titans. I go Rachaad White here. I think White's still the move.
Yeah.
Eagles or Titans is close.
I go Eagles on this one.
Okay, I agree. I go Eagles too.
Yeah.
Foreman or Cam Akers? I go Foreman. I think Foreman's gonna have a good week, but keep in mind Foreman is technically injured.
Yeah, what's up with this dude? What's up with this injury?
I think he's gonna be good to go.
Yeah.
But just keep that in mind. He's still coming in as questionable, practice in a limited capacity, but it's a really good matchup for him against Seattle. So, if you feel like there's too much risk there and you got to go Akers, that's one thing. But overall, I like Foreman more. Caleb, what's good, bro? I think Walker's got a good shot to play, but it's too hard to It's a really weird injury, sprain in his bone in his foot. Yeah. What's going on, man? Full PPR. We got to pick 3: Evans, Palmer, Pacheco, Juju, DPJ, Connor, Knight, Cook. Must win. Keep in mind, Mike Williams is playing. So Palmer's ceiling kind of goes down a little bit. It's a tough read there. But I almost want to still consider Palmer because he still is going to get good opportunities in this game, but he's still the wide receiver 3. It's like when you look back the game against the Chiefs, the most recent game, right? That game started with Allen, Williams, and Palmer on the field, and Palmer, started off the game with that huge touchdown grab. So there's it's still tough here, right? I actually like James Conner this week, even in tough matchup, because when the Cardinals are playing from behind, they still dump the ball off a lot to James Conner, So I'd probably go Conner. I kind of am still leaning Palmer, and then I'd probably go Pacheco. Those are probably my 3 guys, but there's a lot of debate to be had there, so it's close.
I'd throw Evans in the mix, Connor in the mix, and then I'll probably go Cook on this one.
It's definitely a tough read, man.
Yeah.
Caleb, I dropped Jimmy G in the Deep Dynasty League. Someone already picked him up. Did I make the wrong decision? I mean, not necessarily. It depends on who else you have at quarterback, but I'm not out on Jimmy G for the long term, but I'm not necessarily like in on Jimmy G either. So uh, I think he'll be all right, man. Latavius Murray or Ayuk in the flex. It's close. Good matchup for Murray, but like the Broncos average like 12 points a game or less. I probably go Ayuk. Seattle versus New England. What do you think, Steven?
I'm going to go Seattle in this one. I know you have a little bit of skepticism around that, but I don't know. I think if you're trying to get the bigger upside play, I do think it's Seattle right now. But New England has looked shaky, right, as of late. There's something off there as well. I kind of want to hold off with New England until next week against, I think they've got the Raiders up next. I think that'll be a good play because they got the revenge factor against McDaniels with Belichick. But for this week alone, I'll take Seattle.
I agree. I'd probably go Seattle as well. I hope New England can do something, but they probably won't because I have to start them and have them score points to win my matchup this week. But I do like Seattle this week. So Garrett Wilson or Godwin? This is close.
Great question. It's a great question.
Really, really good question. Really tough here too.
I'm gonna go Wilson.
Okay. I was gonna say I kind of lean Godwin, but you can't really go wrong. It's just like Godwin is guaranteed the volume. Like the Bucks, even if they play poorly, they're gonna just throw the football the whole game, no matter like every single drive. Like they're gonna be tossing, So it's like Brady, the amount of times he's throwing the football, the amount of times he targets Godwin in a game is such a guarantee. Where I still think the Jets are playing well, and obviously they're playing well with Mike White and everything. But it's like if this game just gets ugly and Buffalo really, really shows out, I worry about the potential volume. But dude, both these guys are playing so good. Like when I made the wide receiver rankings, like I go Garrett Wilson like maybe 15th overall, and I was like, I wanted to put Wilson so much higher.
Yeah,
he's playing so good right now that I really don't think you can go wrong here, man. I think both are going to have really solid weeks.
Dude, him, Chris Olave, Christian Watson. I mean, these guys look very, very legit. A lot of excitement for them next year. I get your points on Godwin. I think they're very valid, but I just think Wilson's going to be. You got to stay in the flames with this guy. His upside's so huge.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with going Wilson whatsoever, man. Dak, Cousins, or Goff at quarterback? I could actually probably go Cousins against the Lions, but they're all really good starts here. But Cousins holds the most upside, in my opinion. Kamara and Evans and Hollywood for Kelsey. It's a fair amount to give up, but you get Kelsey, who has 100 more points than the next highest scoring tight end on the season. So I'd consider it, man. Carr, Brady, Huntley this week. I like Carr. I think Carr is going to have a good week.
Yeah, so. I'll go Carr here as well.
I'm good with Carr for sure. Njoku or Greg Dulcich. If Njoku's healthy, I want to go with Njoku, but if not, you go Greg.
I like Dulcich, man. I think there's going to be more opportunity for him this week against not the best defense in the world, but I still think the Kansas City defense is going to have a good game, but I don't know. I like Dulcich with something else.
Yeah, I just have trust issues with Greg Dulcich, but I think he's a good starter.
I don't blame you, bro. I don't blame you putting on your Drake right now for him.
Yeah, both guys are top 10 players for sure at the position. Because position's so.
Well, I was going to say, what does that mean, John? Top 10. Like, does that mean anything?
Tight ends are disgusting right now. Carr Cousins this week must win. I go Cousins. I think that's going to be a shootout game, man. I go Cousins, but both are good.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Do you think Ritter will be better than Mariota fantasy-wise for the Falcons receivers? I know they don't play this week, but I want to ask anyways. Sure. I mean, what could be worse? It's like the worst that could happen is they stay about the same value. But we'll have to sit back and see what happens.
Yeah. I don't really want any of these receivers, regardless. Anyways, I still think Drake London's a zero for this year.
Drake, this strength of schedule for the Falcons receiving core, which is mainly Drake London, to finish the year.
Drake London, dude.
It's very, very, very favorable, man. It's like one of the best strength of schedules from a fantasy perspective.
So are you taking your shot?
Well, I own Drake London. I'm holding on to him for a reason. Yeah.
All right.
What's up, Prey? Good to see you, bro. What's up? I have Fournette, Pacheco at RB1, RB2, and Ayuk at flex. I think that's perfectly fine, Miles. I think that's fine, bro. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Akers over Fournette.
That's where I'm at right now.
So he's got Fournette, Pacheco. Steven says go Akers. I kind of like Akers. The more this night goes on, I think Akers is kind of a solid play.
John, you said it, bro. It's going to be a shootout, high-scoring game. 60 points for sure, dude. Rams, Baker Mayfield. Matt Gay might throw a touchdown. It's going to be a big
one. I think Akers for the upside, Fournette for the floor. A little bit more risk with Akers, though. Elliot, what's good, bro? Hope you're doing well as well. Let's see here. Should I pick up Davis Mills in a really deep dynasty league? I feel like I need a backup QB. Lost Mariota and Jimmy G. I have White and Burrow. It says start 2 quarterback league. If it's a double quarterback league, yes, because you want to have that third option. You just lost Mariota, like Mills versus Mariota, deep dynasty, double quarterback play. That's fine. Mills is the starter again, so like, does he bring a lot of value? No, but playing in a double quarterback league, like, you've got to have some ugly quarterbacks rostered sometimes. So I think that's fine. What's up with the Lamar questionable tag? Harbaugh. Johnny Harbaugh needs to help us out. Would really like to put him in IR and open a roster spot. I don't think he's going to be on IR this year. No. And they're going to keep him questionable and keep him away from the injury report as long as they can, just because they're playing the Steelers and they don't want them to game plan. Although the game plan is kind of similar between.
It's exactly the same, dude. Yeah. Both quarterbacks, all they can do is run the football.
Yeah. I could drop to Michael Hasty or Ty Johnson for Davis Mills. Who should I drop if you think I get a quarterback? I'd probably drop Johnson because there's so many more rotating running backs in that backfield as opposed to Hasty, who's just the RB2. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're still a game away from ETN being hurt. I mean,
sure.
I don't know. There's definitely a chance where Hasty comes back in.
Hasty. Are Dortch and Chark worth adding in 12-team leagues, which y'all prioritize for this week and rest of the season? I go Chark over Greggy D, although Dortch is my guy. Chark is showing value right now. The problem with Dortch is you got Hollywood, you got Rondell Moore coming back, although he could still miss this week, and you got Hopkins in front of him, and then you got a poor strength of schedule to finish the year. Where with Chark, he's on a team that's trying to make a playoff push, and even if I feel like if the Lions get excluded from the playoffs, they're still going to try and finish this year with as many wins as they possibly can. And this is a team that's putting up a lot of points on the season, so I will go Chark if I was going to prioritize one of them.
I like Chark a lot. I mean, in the Catch League, I'm starting him this week over George Pickens. I think he's a pretty big upside play. Vikings are really bad against outside receivers. I think Chark is definitely in for some big upside. And the rest of the season, relatively, favorable schedule. And, I'm just not too high on Jameson Williams really coming back and being a big play. I would love to see it. But I think Chark is going to be pretty firm on that spot rest of the season.
Yeah, I agree. I think they got a good thing going with that receiving core, and they're just going to continue to ease Williams in. And I've been telling you guys to kind of probably don't need to roster Williams, All right, Andrew, Brady or Goff? Go Goff.
100%, yeah. Big time.
Gotta go Goff.
Yeah.
Miles, I like that you guys do live chat before Thursday night game. Not a lot of guys do this.
Because not a lot of guys look like us. All right, we're a couple studs, a couple of stud muffins. All right, that's what we do Thursday.
Godwin over Wilson because he has a better floor. Let's see here. Yeah, need to replace Walker. My flex. Do I start Judy or Moore? Also, where do you rank Christian Watson rest of the season? Sucks he's on bye this week. I go Judy.
Oh, yeah, man.
Sutton's out. I mean, he's going to get a lot of volume in this game. Is he going to score a touchdown? Probably not, because the Broncos don't like to do that. But he will get the reception. So I actually don't dislike DJ Moore this week, but the better matchup is with Judy. He got Sutton more than likely out. Christian Watson is like the wide receiver 2 or 3 in the last 4 weeks. So he could easily finish the season as a top 10 guy. So
Christian Watson is absolutely unreal. Love the guy. He's been a stud. I will say, I don't I don't have a lot of faith in DJ Moore this week with that Woolen matchup. Woolen's an absolute stud corner.
Yeah, I agree. And, it's a tough matchup. Like, we think about Seattle and they feel like a good team to play against, but they're just not. So, um, I go Judy all the way here. And then Watson's going to continue the ball. Kind of sucks that the Packers are like figuring out who they are as a team when it's almost too late. Like, they have to win out. So, we'll
Yeah.
see what happens. Ghost Hunter, is Brock Purdy worth a look? He looked fine in relief for Jimmy G, but the Niners are looking for another quarterback as well. Well, I think the main reason they're looking for another quarterback is because, like, if Johnson got hurt and Purdy got hurt, like, they'd be screwed. They wouldn't have a quarterback, so they just want to roster that third QB. But is he worth a look? I don't think so in like single quarterback leagues, but in double quarterback super flex, 100%. Yeah,
Dude, I got faith in Brock Purdy.
Bro. Oh, I do too, bro. I just I think you're going to see some inconsistency here, but I don't necessarily doubt him.
Did he look much different than Jimmy Garoppolo?
No.
So I mean, I feel like we were having Jimmy G come out in favorable matchups. I think if we see that that Brock Purdy is trusted, I got no issues rolling him out in favorable matchups if you're in a deep pinch because he's just got so many weapons, and I think they're gonna put together a lot of quick game, Debo screens, CMC screens, and it's just gonna be easy work. It's gonna be easy work for the guy.
Sure. I mean, it's kind of like how the system works is Shanahan keeps around quarterbacks that can play within it. So I won't be too surprised for sure. Is Sam Darnold startable in the Superflex League, or would you roll with Mike Williams or Rashad White if Fournette misses? I actually do think Sam Darnold is startable in Superflex leagues, but I don't hate him this week, but I don't love him. He actually made in the quarterback rankings, he made like the honorable mention page, but purely for double quarterback super flex leagues. But once again, Seattle's defense, we don't want to undermine them. So if you have other options, I think you go with them. I'd probably go with Rashad White or Mike Williams over Sam Darnold, especially if Fournette doesn't play. So, but he is worth consideration for sure.
I'm out on Mike Williams, man.
That's fair.
Yeah, I need to see him come back and actually play, and I'm kind of out on. I'd play Rashad White over Darnold, but I wouldn't play Williams over Darnold.
That's fair. What's up, man? Pick 3, full PPR. Walker, Ramondre, Najee, Pierce, Akers. I don't like Pierce matchup, and I have a must-win game. Can also pick up James Cook or Bam. I would go Ramondre. If I have to pick from this pool at this moment, I go Ramondre, Najee, and Akers. But the issue is if Walker plays, then you miss out on. Well, you start Walker over Najee, I guess. But would I pick up James Cook or Bam over these guys? I see a pretty similar floor and ceiling with those two compared to Najee and Akers. So at the moment, I'd have Ramondre, Akers, and Najee in.
If you could, because I would like to roster all these guys. So if I could pick up James Cook and not have to cut any of these dudes, I would start James Cook over most of them. I mean, I'd probably go Ramondre, Najee, James Cook. Actually, no, I'd go Ramondre, Akers, James Cook. I really don't like Najee against the Ravens this week, but don't want to cut any of them for James Cook or Bam.
A lot of close calls here. I mean, a lot of players who could easily bring the same type of floor, same type of ceiling on the week, man. We got you, Elliot. Is D-Hop going to play as an illness? I think he'll be okay, but we got illnesses going around right now, a lot of locker rooms. Should I drop Ty Johnson or Josh Reynolds for Davis Mills in that Dynasty League? It's a tough call because the Lions receiving room is pretty crowded. The Jets running back room is pretty crowded. I don't really know what Ty Johnson's contract looks like how much longer he's going to be with the Jets. But if he's not with the Jets moving forward, he's probably not relevant. He's got a good little spot there. At least if there's injuries to the Lions receivers that Josh Reynolds can bring some value. So it's very close, but I'd probably drop Ty Johnson. I know he's looked good as of late, but he has to have a lot go his way in order to be relevant. So, but honestly, I don't think you're losing a ton of value here either way, Caleb. Yeah. Johnson does this a couple times.
He comes out of nowhere, man.
Orac, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Brooks, who do I start? 2 wide receiver, 2 RB of flex. Henry, CMC, Chase, AJ Brown, Saquon, or Amon Ra at flex. Holy crap. Amon
Dude,
Ra.
benefit of riches right there. Yeah, Monroe's definitely got to be in there. Jamor, right?
I think you go with Henry, CMC, Chase, Brown, Amon Ra. It's so tough here. You really can't go wrong. You could argue for Saquon over CMC, but actually Washington has played better against. Or wait,
He's playing Philly,
he's playing Philly this week. That's right.
which is a
Just
pretty
so
bad run defense, to be honest. But
But
I
so are
still
the
go
Bucs.
with Henry.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta go Henry against the Jags.
Yeah,
And then I feel like you have to go CMC here. Uh, and I think you go Chase Brown, and I love Amon Ra this week. So but you like if you go Saquon, you can't go wrong. Saquon has had I think 15 or more fantasy points in all his matchups except that game against Detroit. Like it's so close. But Amon Ra's playing at such a high level, and the Vikings secondary is super banged up. I think it's gonna be a shootout game. You can't go wrong here, man. You just can't. You know.
If I were to bench any of these guys, to be quite honest, it would probably be Jamar Chase, and I'd flip that for Saquon. But it's real tough. I just think it's hard to put Saquon on the bench. Is my point.
Oh, it's hard to
That's
put any
all
of these
I'm saying.
guys on the bench.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's super tough, man. All are gonna. I mean, trust your gut here because you got a lot of good options, bro. Pick 2: Mixon, Pollard, Kenneth Walker. I mean, right now, yeah, you gotta go Mixon and Pollard. You have to start Pollard against Houston. Do not bench him, whatever you do. And Kenneth Walker's banged up. We don't exactly know if he's going to play. So right now, you just have Mixon and Pollard in, and you continue to monitor Walker's situation. Full PPR, need a wide receiver in flex. DPJ, Moore, Burke, Higbee, or Everett. I go Burks if he's healthy, but we don't know if he's going to play. If he doesn't play, you go DPJ and Rondo Moore. But once again, we don't know if Rondo Moore is going to play. So I would just say if you don't start Higbee out of these options. If 2 of the receivers are hurt, which would be Rondo Moore and Burke, then you go DPJ and Everett. If 2 out of the 3 receivers are healthy, you go with two out of the 3 receivers. But there's a chance that one of these guys, whether it's Rondo Moore or Treylon Burks, does not play. So you're going to have to continue to monitor injuries as we approach the weekend, man.
Man, Sean Watson looked just about as terrible as you can get, man. Just about as terrible as you can get.
I
can't say I wasn't
said it. I mean, all week I said don't start Watson.
Yeah, we both were out on him, and it was funny watching the games. I was just like, yes.
We got you, Caleb. Of course. Do you guys like Akers this week? I feel like he's all the Rams have. Would you say Ramondre RB1, Akers 2, and Cook, or swap Cook and Akers? I like Akers. Yeah, I think Ramondre and Akers is fine. This Raiders team is really bad.
With 6 teams on bye week too, I think that's why we're saying we like Akers. I think in a normal week, we'd probably be a little bit more out on the guy.
Sure. Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for the night. We're at that 8:00 countdown. So appreciate you guys coming out tonight, man. Appreciate you guys bringing all the fantasy questions. Appreciate you guys keeping the fantasy conversation going in the chat. Make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you guys are new to the channel and you tuned in, make sure to check out all the links down below. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure to join our Discord and follow us on Instagram. Both of those links are in the description down below. We have must-start defenses, must-start kickers out for the week by Steven. We have quarterback, tight end, wide receiver, and running back rankings out for the week. So if you guys need further insight on the week, go check out those videos. Go drop a like, go drop a comment. Let us know your guys' thoughts. We got another question. Let's see. I have Godwin, D up, and Moore. Do you go with those 3 instead of Cook? You could argue Cook over Moore, but I think that Moore has pretty good value this week. So I'd probably go Godwin, D up, and Moore, as long as it's DJ Moore and not Rondo Moore. If it's Rondo Moore, I'd go Cook over Rondo because he's still banged up and don't exactly know what you're going to get. But Godwin and D-Hop got to be in your lineup, man, for sure.
Those 2 are must-starts.
Yeah, for sure. We got you, Jane. Have a great night. Goodbye.
Good night, Mom. Good night.
Good night, Bird. Andrea, have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Yeah, if it's DJ Moore, I go DJ Moore, my dude. Yeah, but we got you, man. Appreciate you coming out tonight, man. Elliot, we appreciate you, bro. Have a great night, guys. Enjoy your Thursday night football game. Don't let fantasy get too much in the way. Everyone go watch some football, eat some food, relax. It's Thursday night. Let's get it. Raiders, Rams. Good luck to everyone tonight. Good luck to you guys this week. I'll be back on tomorrow night, of course. But yeah, we appreciate you guys. Happy Thursday night football. Christian, pick two, Swift, ET, and Elliott. Swift and Elliott for sure. Tough matchup for ETN. Elliott's going to ball. Swift looked good last week. He has had another injury pop up, but he'll be good to go. So
Yeah, definitely going Elliott and Swift here.
Akers or DJ Moore. We're going Akers for making the call. We like Cam Akers tonight. We're risking it for the biscuit. Akers is the risk move, the upside move. If you don't like it, go DJ Moore for a floor. All right, Steven, you got anything you want to say before we sign off here, man?
No, man. Yeah, I'm not terribly excited for this game, but it's football nonetheless. Just that old saying, right? We're gonna hate not being able to watch the worst teams in football play each other when it's the off season. So hopefully Baker's good to go. He plays. If not, we'll see some Wofford action or something. But Matt Gay, Daniel Carlson, let's see the showdown, right?
Let's get it, man. Let's showdown at kickers. Let's do it.
That's all I care about.
Higby or Njoku, I go Njoku. Only risk is if he's not healthy, but he's training to play. So I go Njoku. I don't trust this Rams passing attack right now. So, all right, man. Love you guys. Love this community. Love the catch, fam. Appreciate you guys so much, man. Great fantasy stream or great fantasy Q&A with you guys tonight. Thank you guys for the questions. Thank you guys for everything that you guys do. And smash that like. Check out the links down below and go enjoy some Thursday night football. We will talk to you guys soon. Talk to you guys tomorrow. So everyone be safe. Have a great night. And that'll do it, man. So with that, I'll say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the catch. And peace.